Okay, so when you get to Desmos, you're going to go to this upper corner and hit the plus sign. It says add item, and you should see this drop down menu. You're going to click image, and then you can go and search wherever you saved your picture. Okay, so I'm going to go into pictures, and I'm going to go here because I know there's a picture there. Your picture should now end up in the middle of the screen. What you want to do, you should have a parabola shape. I'm going to treat this rock as my parabola so we have something to work with. So now you might want to move your image. You can actually take the image and you can stretch it outward, make it bigger. You can go here and change the center. So say I want to change the center of my image over a little bit. So I'm going to move it to +2, and I'm going to move it up some and put it to +5, and then say, okay, that's where I want my image. You can decide where you want your image. I'm going to make mine bigger now. So I see my parabola kind of going through the center. So that's up to you. Once you have that, you have a couple choices to making your equation. You can use vertex form and find your vertex, or you can use zeros and find your zeros. So I'm going to suggest using vertex form, y equals, and we're going to leave a as a for now, so we're just going to leave 1. And then the vertex, h minus, and then what is the x value of the vertex? So I'm going to say my vertex is up through here, so 1.5. And then I close my parenthesis, and remember that's always squared. So I'm going to hit the squared. And then the k value of my vertex is about 5.5. So plus, oops, sorry, went over it too far, plus 5.5. Now you see my vertex is kind of where I wanted it. Maybe I want to move it over a little bit more. Maybe I want it up a little bit more. I mean, you can kind of play around with it. So I'm going to change this to 1.25. And I'm going to move it up a little bit more to make this 6, just so I can kind of get up above their heads. So then I see the vertex, but then I go, oh no, my graph is upside down. How do I reflect or turn it the other way? I put a negative. Okay, but now it's not wide enough. So this is what you're going to kind of work through the process. How do I make it wider? What do I need to change? And you're going to play around with this equation. So you're going to play around with the value here, the value here, and the value here until your parabola is nicely shaped. So I want to make mine wider. So I'm going to make this into a fraction. And now it looks much better. You can see the parabola is forming around my shape. So I can play with it as much as I want until I say, okay, yep, I'm satisfied. At that point is when you're going to then take a screenshot of the screen, or take your phone and take a picture of your screen so that you have this picture, and you're going to send me the picture, and you're also going to send me your selfie with you with the picture. Okay, so that is the goal. So add your image, get it centered wherever you want it, and then use the equation y equals a x minus h squared plus k, that vertex form of the equation, to figure out where you're going to make your parabola, and then get that parabola on there. You can write the equation in any form. So I do have some students that put y equals -2x squared. So standard form, plus 3x minus, what is my y-intercept? Around 5, or +5, so +5. And then, oops, that's supposed to be +5, sorry. And then say, oh, that's not quite right. So what do I need to change? Well, that y-intercept looks okay. It looks too narrow. So I'm going to go back and change this to 1/2. And now, oh no, it's way too tall. So what do I need to do to change that? I know the 5 is good. Maybe I want to change this number here. And you can just play around with it until, oh, that did not work. So I'm going to go backwards and change it to 2. Oh, that looks closer. Do you see how I'm playing around with these numbers until I find something that I like? So I maybe change this to 1/4. Oh, that's too big. Let's bring this back down to 1. And again, you can keep playing around with it until you find something that seems to be pretty close to working. And then you're going to submit that picture to me. So you can do standard form. You can do vertex form. If you wanted to, you could go y equals and then do your zeros. So the first 0, if I was going to look kind of, I'd say it crosses around -2. So +2. And then the other 0.